What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and today we're back with more 40 facts on the Warhammer 40k universe. Today we are continuing the lore of the swords of Warhammer 40k. Speaking of 40k, this sword might have a little bit more to do with 30k, aka the time of the heresy and before. So, as you can see in the thumbnail, we are talking about Cypher and the sword that he carries upon his back. There's a lot of speculation that this sword has a lot to do with both the Lion, the Primarch of the Dark Angels, and maybe even the Emperor. So let's kind of dissect and see what we can find out about this blade and this video. Before we get to talking about the blade, let's find out a little bit more about Cypher. So Cypher is one of the fallen angels from the mysterious chapter of the Dark Angel Space Marines, and it was believed that he was actually turned chaos during the heresy. However, throughout the millennia, it's been noted that he's been seen fighting with chaos, but at the same time, he also fights within the Loyalists' Imperium members, be it Space Marines or Imperial Guard. He seems to cross both paths, and it seems like he's doing this all for his own goals, which are only known strictly to himself. Now, because of this, the Dark Angels chapter have been specifically chasing him since the fall of Caliban, for nearly, I believe it's like 10,000 standard years, and since then, it seems that Cypher has been appearing in each of the 5 segmentums. He's been appearing basically out of thin air, so he seems to be in control of maybe the warp, or some kind of teleportation device, because he seems to appear in and out of practically thin air. Because of this, it seems that he arrives, does whatever mission he needs to do, and then he disappears again. Now, besides him donning his ancient artificer armor and his 2 legendary pistols, Cypher also has a massive sword upon his back, and that is one of the characteristics that defines him. On every world where he has been sighted, Cypher always had this sword. Yet no matter how dire the situation he's never drawn the blade in combat, either to attack or to defend. And even on rare occasions where both of his pistols were struck from his hands, the robed figure never drew the blade. Some of the Unforgiven have speculated that this blade is none other than the famed Lion Sword, the blade that the Primarch once wielded back during the heresy. However, others say that it is a new weapon, one that was made from the same meteor that created the Heavenfall Blades. And what are the Heavenfall Blades? I'll tell you. So the Heavenfall Blades are legendary power swords wielded by only the highest ranking members of the inner circle of the Dark Angels. They were cut from a single block of obsidian that was taken from a meteorite that struck the rock, aka the Fortress Monastery of the Dark Angels. And these swords have names to themselves because each one is a specially crafted, really unique, really legendary weapon. The names are the Sword of Secrets, the Sword of Silence, the Raven Sword, Felbane, the Sword of Sanctity. While speculation states that this blade wielded by Cypher may be one of the Heavenfall Blades, others say that it is none other than the Black Sword of Luther. Now, Luther was a treacherous Dark Angel who fought Lionel Johnson upon the rock back then, and they're saying that perhaps this is his own weapon. Again, only legend states that these are rumors. We can't know for certain what exactly this is. However, some say that the goal that Cypher has is to reach Terra and use this weapon to slay the Emperor, striking him down from his golden throne. Now, while some say that this is more to aid chaos in killing the Emperor, some say that this is the only way to seek redemption for the Unforgiven. That in the end, perhaps the death of the Emperor will lead to his reincarnation, or maybe it'll just lead to death at the end of the Emperor. All in all, nothing is for certain, and just like the sword is sheathed in mystery, so is Cypher. Now, another theory about the Lion Sword, if that is exactly the sword wielded by Cypher, is that with this blade, since it was last seen in antiquity and lost back in the 30k era, some say that Cypher needs to take this blade to the Emperor, where he will receive absolution and forgiveness. And perhaps with that occurring, the lion will finally wake from his slumber from deep within the rock. Lots of speculation going around with this one. No concrete evidence as to what exactly it is. So with that being said, guys, I need you to go down into the comment section below and let me know what you think that this mysterious blade actually is. What part will it play in the grandiose story? Is it the key to the redemption of the Dark Angels as Unforgiven? Is it a means to destroy the Emperor? Is it a way to revive Lionel Johnson? You let me know. I personally think that this sword, it's not going to be a crone sword. It's actually going to be a way to revive the Emperor. I agree with that theory that Cypher needs to take it to the Emperor, strike him down. Yes, that would mean that the Eye of Terror, or not the Eye of Terror, the Astronomicon will go out and chaos will ensue. But with that chaos, then the Emperor will come back. It's kind of like the whole thing that it's always darkest before dawn, and the darkness being the death of the Emperor, and obviously dawn would be the resurrection of the Emperor. So I think that's a good idea to go with, since it's like, oh, everybody's gonna, mark Luther as like the traitor of the traitors, the most evilest guy, and he's all doing this as a means of self-sacrifice. He knows most likely he'll get struck down. He knows going into Terra alone is heretical in the eyes of the High Lords and the Imperium. So with that being said, it's like he's doing all this. He's being the self-sacrifice to help the Imperium, to make them rise once again. So hopefully that's the route that they take with this. If not, I'm really intrigued as to see, why he has it and what his secret motives are all about. Speaking of, the model looks amazing. The old edition model, it basically just showed Cypher dual wielding his bolt pistol and plasma pistol. But when the triumvirate of the Imperium came out, that had Gilliman, I believe his name was Voldus, the Grey Knights guy, and Cypher, I'm like, wow. You get a Primarch, and you get that awesome sculpt of Cypher. I'm like, hands down, that's probably the best triumvirate that came out back in the day. I think that was, 2017, if I'm not mistaken? So yeah, really sweet looking model. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting that model and putting it into my own Space Marines, because it looks fantastic. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts, your theories down below. If you do play Cypher, how actually is he in the battlefield? Because I feel like he'd do pretty well with his dual wielding pistols. But again, it's 8th edition. Let me know how well your battles with Cypher are. And that's all I've got for today, guys. Keep those comments coming down below. Don't forget to head on over to our Patreon page, where if you wish to support us, it's only $1 a month, and it'll help you bring out more thought-provoking videos such as this one. Don't forget to hit that like button, and stay subscribed for more epic 40k content. As always, I am the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Holy